Again, KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi is discussing crime-fighting strategies with members of the National Council of Provinces today. This meeting comes as Parliament seeks to forge a stronger relationship with police. Mkhwanazi making startling allegations last month that criminal syndicates have infiltrated the highest levels of government. He's also accused Police Minister Newzroom of corruption and interference in investigations. Newzroom, as we know, has since been placed on special leave by the President, who also then appointed Feroz Kachalia as his interim replacement. Now, Newzroom Afrika's Nobuhle Modise is following that story. She joins us live in Durban. Nobuhle, good afternoon. Of course, you haven't been able to sit in on that engagement between the Provincial Police Commissioner and members of the NCOP. But what do we know about the important things that are on the table there?
Good afternoon once again, Michelle. So yes, unfortunately, we were not able to sit in that particular engagement with the NCOP and the Provincial Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, as well as other senior members of the SAPS here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. But I do have with me Nobuhle, who is leading this delegation here today in the province to engage with the Commissioner. They've just come out of that engagement, and as he promised, he said he would let us in on what really happened in there. And I mean, a lot of the media contingency that was here was waiting to come inside and hear what would be the agenda for the day. So maybe take us through what are some of the highlights and the talking points that were discussed during your engagement.
Well, look, I must just also emphasize that the allegations or the explosives, as you've described it, was not part of this meeting's agenda. As you can see, I'm with members of Parliament from the NCOP representing the province of KZN. And this week we are doing our constituency work, and this province is our constituency. And part of the oversight that we've identified was to come and see how best we can be able to be of help to the South African Police Service in as far as bringing issues of police in the National Parliament. And that is precisely why we are doing this oversight. On Wednesday, we're meeting with the Premier of KZN. So it is part of an ongoing stakeholder engagement and part of our constituency work representing the province. But having said that, today's engagement was purely about the crime in the province, the challenges that exist in the South African Police Service, and that was on the agenda. And we wanted to understand from the police and from the Provincial Commissioner on how best we can be able to help in bringing some of those challenges into the national sphere. And some of those issues include the shortage of vehicles in the province. It includes shortage of personnel. There's not enough police in the province. There's about 12 million population in the province, and there's only 23,000 police officers. And that is shocking, because it clearly tells you that we are unable to deal with crime the way that we should, or respond to crime the way that we should. The building that we are in now has been rented for many years, and the police in the province don't have headquarters. They don't even have parking here. And those are concerns that needs to be attended to. And that is what we discussed precisely.
A lot of people would say the timing of this particular engagement following that briefing a month ago. Also, did you touch on issues of when an intelligence head would be appointed, for example, here in the province? I know it's something that was said in that briefing, but did things like that come up? There's also an issue of a police station in Mkhwanazi that was looted during the July unrest, which is said to allegedly have been brought to Parliament around some of the firearms and the ammunition that was stolen. There is some of the firearms that we see with the crimes that are committed in those areas. Were issues like that discussed and put on the table?
Look, when we spoke about the capacity of SAPS in the province, we spoke about the issue of police stations, which are not enough. We spoke about issues that has got to do with how the police have got vacancies, for example, and I'm sure that the intelligence personnel also include some of those vacancies in the province. And we quite concerned about the number of vacancies that exist. But again, that does not solve the problem entirely, because if you look at the police stations in previously disadvantaged areas, we've not built enough police stations over the many past years. So you've got communities in rural areas who still have got to travel distances to get to police stations. And that was what was expressed here. And that is what the police are concerned about, even though they are entirely committed to dealing with crime in the province. But they are also entirely undercapacitated. And that is, those are the concerns that us as members of parliament, as lawmakers and as delegates representing this province are issues that we must raise in parliament, so that we could be able to deal with the issues that you are raising. Mkhwanazi is not the only police station that has got an issue. There are other areas which don't have police stations. There are other areas where there's mobile police stations which don't operate 24 hours. And that was what was said to us here. And those are the real issues that we are wanting to get to the bottom of and assist our police.
And then where to from here? And maybe for viewers who don't understand the difference, what is the difference between this visit or this engagement that you're doing now compared to the engagements that are done with the Portfolio Committee on Policing nationally? What's the difference between these kind of engagements?
Well, this is a delegation from the NCOP representing the province of KZN. And this week, as I've said, we are doing oversight. On Wednesday, we're meeting with the Premier. We are meeting with the Cabinet, where we're going to exchange ideas and see how best we can assist the province in escalating issues in National Parliament. That's our job. That's our responsibility. In fact, every other member of Parliament during this oversight week, they should be doing the same thing and going to government departments to see how best they can be of help. It's something they get paid to do. So from here, we've made a decision along with the police management that we will identify and isolate issues that require legislative approach. We'll identify issues that require us to get in touch with other departments, and we'll begin that process now. Where, for example, the issue of buildings. We'll have to get in touch with the Department of Public Works and see how best we can be able to assist the police in liaising with that particular department, so that our policemen and women can have a safe and proper office space, which they don't have right now, and that can't be the case.
Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. That is Nobuhle, who's been leading the delegation here from the National Council of Provinces during the engagement here with the leadership of the SAPS in the province, as well as the Provincial Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. And you heard him there, Michelle, emphasizing the fact that this is not linked in any way to those allegations that were made by General Mkhwanazi just over a month ago, and just letting us in on what was discussed and where the way forward from here is now. Back to you, Michelle.
Nobuhle Modise, thanks very much indeed.